It's a soccer, soccer practice.
All right, we're good.
Good.
Great, thanks.
Okay, time being 6 o'clock, we'll call this meeting of the School Building Committee to order. The first item on our agenda this evening is approval of meeting minutes. We have one set of meeting minutes from May 15th, 2025. And I would, if everybody's had a chance to review those, I sent them out to everybody yesterday, so if everybody's had a chance to review them, if there's any comments or changes, now would be the time to bring those up. And if there's not, then I would entertain a motion to approve them.
Make a motion to approve the minutes of our meeting of May 15th, 2025.
Okay, motion by Dennis to approve the minutes of May 15th. Can I get a second? Get a second from John Souza. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? It's unanimous. Okay. Review of designer procurement process is up next, and I'll turn it over to David and Hamdi to take us through that.
Great. Thank you, Pat. So last meeting, we talked about the riveting topic of the reimbursement process with the MSBA. We reviewed the RFS and approved it, and we had an update to the website. So tonight, we'll kind of have a presentation or a calendar finalizing the designer procurement process, and then a quick update on a meeting we had with the town and the district as far as invoicing, processing, and so forth, and the management of the ProPay. And then we actually have our first approval of invoices, or a invoice for tonight. So on the screen, you will see how we memorialized everything with the MSBA. After we had our meeting last month, we finalized everything with the MSBA. On June 5th, Hamdi placed or put the ad in the central register, but it doesn't get posted until yesterday, the 11th. So that's when the RFS was available. Hamdi also coordinated with Christine. Thank you for the other posting requirements that were done. So from a posting standpoint, we're all set. I would just ask if someone could send Hamdi and I an actual copy of the posting from the Lowell Sun, just so we have it as a record.
I think
I
I
think
have it.
have it?
I have
Joyce
it.
has
Oh,
it. Yeah,
perfect.
I mean, it's online,
Yep.
but Joyce has it.
Oh,
Yes,
perfect, excellent, thank you. So it's out on the street. Hamdi just shared with me a listing that he receives from Joyce, so, it's there. We're going to have a briefing on the 23rd, I believe it's at 2 p.m., and we'll have some tour guides for that briefing, similar to what was done for the OPM. And the applications are due to the district on the 16th. Our next meeting is scheduled for the 17th, but we'll talk about that later in the meeting. On the 7th, the applications are due to the MSBA. We put up a package that goes to the MSBA. We have a meeting on the 21st of August, this meeting, and then our first DSP meeting for the applications to be reviewed is August 26th. We assume that the DSP will say they're going to go to interviews, and then the interviews will be scheduled for September 9th. So our crystal ball is going to say that on September 9th, we will know who the designer will be. So again, based on our schedule, by the end of September, we'll have a designer on board under contract. Any questions on this process?
Good.
So what happens on the 26th? Is it just a virtual meeting with MSBA where you review the applications and choose who you're going to interview? Is that how it works?
Yeah, it'll be a virtual meeting. The MSBA will, do a high-level review of all the applications. They will ask for typically commentary from this DSP membership first. Sometimes that somewhat sets the tone. And there will be a ranking to be a shortlist. And there's a scorecard, and you score 3, 2, 1. 3 is your highest points of who you want to work with. Don't get it wrong, because I've seen it where, yes, I've seen, not on one of my projects, but I've seen it happen. So your highest recommendation would get a 3, and then 2, and then 1. So whoever has the highest points, they look at it kind of like they look at the forest, and they'll say, okay, we're going to interview 2 or 3, or sometimes if there's a grouping of 4, they'll say, okay, we're going to interview 4. But typically I see, there's 3 interviews, or 3 applicants that will go to September 9th.
And then on the 9th, after the completion of the interviews, does the group stay on and choose who they're?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So then you will know on the 9th.
Then we'll know on the 9th. Yeah. So there'll be a letter that will be sent from the MSBA to the district, sometimes the end of the day on the 9th or the 10th, it's right away. And then based on the pleasure or the appetite of the committee, Hamdi and I can meet with the designer. We'll say negotiate a draft contract, and then I can bring it back to the committee, or I can bring it back to a delegated person to say, yes, let's go. But we can discuss that another time, how this committee would like to operate.
Yeah, just quickly, the designer briefing, you'll be taking care of, you'll be doing the oversight for that? and
Yes.
Taking care of that whole thing?
Yes.
All right, and then the other thing, can I get a copy of the slide presentation for tonight, just so that I can have the dates in case I get hit up or something?
Yep, as a
And
reference.
it's probably a good idea to, just send me, if we're gonna be doing a slide presentation during a meeting, if you send it to me ahead of time, that way I can just keep a record of
Sure.
what we've gone over in the meeting, so,
Not a problem.
thank you.
Can I ask a quick question?
Yeah.
Can I ask, on the meeting, I guess, on August 26th and the 9th, when you're reviewing the candidates, it's via Zoom, it's remote. Is it public? Are there other people like watching the process? Or how does that play out as far as,
They could be 100 people watching.
really? Okay.
Architects that are not even chasing the project, typically they will log in. OPMs will log in. It's within the industry, it's kind of like primetime viewing. It's,
Really?
Yeah, because a lot of times architects will watch it just to look at the tone, the flavor, how the MSBA, what is driving certain decisions, and then designers will, in my opinion, it helps them, prepare interviews for other projects. So I see a lot of people attend.
I'm just curious, if you're kind of meeting the MSBA's designer panel reps like that same time, because we wouldn't see them ahead of time, how do you have any conversations about kind of like calibrating for what you're looking for in the candidates, like any of that discussion? Is it just based purely on what's in the designer services RFS, and that's what you're kind of responding to?
Yes, yeah, and there's no pre-ranking allowed. Any deliberation or ranking has to be done by the designer selection panel on August 26th, I can't see.
Okay, thank you.
It's going to be a long meeting then.
It's the MSBA runs a tight ship. I have to say, they're pretty efficient. But set aside 2 hours, and this is where some projects, like there's always a lot of competition to get into that queue, because the DSP can only handle X amount of applicants per meeting. So I just personally don't see meetings, I don't think they're meeting for 4 hours. So it's like, they only can handle so many, and then if you're not ready, or even if you are ready, it'll be, nope, the queue's already full, and they'll move you to the next one.
Thank you.
And if I may add, there's no deliberation before August 16th, but we will receive the applications on July 16th, and you'll have a chance to review all the application.
Right.
Yeah.
And you can rank, but not disclose to anyone. And on 26th, there will be just an interview, and you will see their performance at the interview.
Okay.
Any other questions? Okay. So, this one, I think when we met last month, I think later in the week or the following day on Friday, we were, as I said, we met with the town accounting department and select members of the district. We went through the invoice processing, propay management. The key takeaway here is that Left Field is going to receive all invoices. We will package it, send it to the committee, put it on an invoice log. All invoices are approved by this committee. We will then coordinate payment with the town, and then Left Field will update the budget, and we will 100% administer the propay process. I won't get into that at this meeting. And then we'll orchestrate the execution of all the forms with the district for the propay. So we're going to manage everything respectfully. What this committee will do is review the invoices and approve them, and that's it. And I think whoever within the town that was managing propay on some previous project was very enthusiastic that Left Field's going to manage propay. So that's kind of the high level, but if anyone has a detailed question, I'm more than happy to take a deeper dive. All right, seeing none. So this is the budget. Again, I know it's not legible on the screen, but, we do send it out, so, you can zoom in on your screen and track it. As the designer gets on board, this will expand. It will probably never become 2 pages. It'll become 3 pages once the project passes. But again, just for transparency, we will update the budget every month. And then this is our first invoice log. This is invoice number 1 for Left Field for $13,900. And if there's no questions, I would look for someone to move a motion. Or I can make the motion, but someone needs to move it because I can't move a motion.
We're looking for a motion to what, accept this budget as,
Yeah, it would be a motion to approve the invoice, invoice log dated 5/30. I can't see from here. 6/13. Yeah, June 13th, for a total value of $13,900, and is that $6? Excuse me, my eyes are horrible. So that would be the motion.
Yeah, we need to change it to 6/12.
6/12, yeah.
Make a motion to approve invoice number 1 on 6/13/2025 in the amount of $13,906 by Left Field LLC for OPM services May 2025.
okay, I have a motion from Dennis King, and can I get a second? Second from John Souza. Any discussion, comments?
Just one quick one. Just, it's 6:12. Nothing.
Yeah, it says 6/13
Today
on
is
the screen.
6/12.
We'll correct it to 6/12.
Okay, 6/12.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, seeing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? That's unanimous. And I spoke to the town accountant, she's out of town today and tomorrow, but she said she'll get you squared away next week. So she's very good about that.
No worries. Dan McSweeney will, like I said, this system will start, and we have it down to a science.
Okay.
So here, Hamdi and I wanted to throw out the thought of not having a meeting in July. And the reason why is, while the applications will come to the district on the 16th, we'll collect them, we're more than happy to, load them electronically on some sort of, we can give you access to our server, so anybody can see them. But I ask that there's no back and forth email communication and so forth. Again, I just want to keep it where there's, it's almost, we're giving the information, but it should be treated as embargoed until it's discussed at the MSBA DSP meeting, but we can share it with everyone. But other than that, we'd have an invoice to approve for left field. But other than that, we don't have anything else to talk about. So I just want to throw it out to the committee, because we've had some committees where we've had a meeting, and then some committee members may say, this was all we were going to talk about, why did we even meet? On the flip side, we've had some committees where religiously they want to meet no matter what. So I'm just throwing it out for kind of the will of the committee.
Yeah, I don't think this is one of those committees, to be honest. I'm totally fine with, I mean, if we're just coming here to approve an invoice, it doesn't make sense. Everybody here is very busy and leads very busy lives, so I, for one, have no problem at all with just canceling the meeting for July, and I'll leave it to the rest of the committee to pipe in.
So the process, July 16th, all those proposals come to DPW, and then we'll package them, and the hard copies go to the committee. So those go, the 6 copies go there.
And we can, we can figure out, hand deliver them to you guys. And then, Hamdi or I will load all of them electronically onto our server, and we'll provide everyone a link where you can download it, you can, review it. But again, please don't get into email communication with each other. I would not recommend that. So.
Getting back to the other conversation, I'm fine with taking off the 17th.
Do we need to authorize the chair or the superintendent to approve the July invoice or the June invoice that will be here in July for?
Oh, I was under the impression we wouldn't get an invoice in July.
No, I don't want to, I mean, no.
Actually,
hold them up for asking no money.
actually, Paul, on meeting number 1, they designated you
Okay,
to approve
right,
invoices.
okay, all right, yeah, I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
Okay,
Which the committee's
and
fine
then we'll
with.
report back at the.
Yeah, so what we would do when, sometimes it happens in the summers, around the holidays, November, December, for various reasons, there might not be a meeting. We will, so in our August meeting on the 21st, we will show this log, but we'll show another log and say that, this is what Paul approved.
In July.
So it's still,
And then there'll be
it's
one
still
for August.
coming to this committee.
Right.
It's just coming as a courtesy, hey, this was approved the month before.
Yeah, I'd ask that, just like you sent the documents for today's meeting, send them just prior to.
Yes.
That way we're all aware that they've been submitted, and then Paul can just say, you can do a quick note back saying, I authorize payment of this, and
Yeah.
we're all done.
Mr. Chin, while we're on invoices, I just wanted to ask David a question.
Please.
David, do you anticipate that invoice that we just approved for just under 14,000, that would be the last one that would come along before June 30th, would you say, or?
Yeah, we invoice once a month.
Yep.
And I'd be able to pull it up on my computer, but not Jay's, but we have a payment schedule. So I can't guarantee that.
the same.
Is it the same?
Yeah, it's the same.
Okay, so we probably took our total and then divided it by X amount of months. And
That's the only invoice in this fiscal year that we'll have
Right,
for
that's
this.
what I was just asking.
And when's that payment due? Is it due within 30 days? or
No,
I'm
well-
just trying to make, because I know John's got an issue is he's got to reconcile the fiscal year.
Oh.
So what if you paid it after, like July 1st, then you wouldn't have the issue of the
Yeah, I mean,
appropriation.
For Darlene's purposes too,
Yeah.
with me, if it was dated in July, I don't know if that would make a difference. If it was dated in July, it would be in the new fiscal year.
if you need us to do anything,
What it would do is it would say, because otherwise, when our free cash is certified from the town side,
Yeah.
any invoices I haven't borrowed yet for the feasibility study, we plan to do it this coming fiscal year.
Okay.
So depending on how much we're talking, I mean, it would either be subtracted from our free cash, or I'd have to do a small, like a temporary note just to cover it within the first 2 or 3 months of the new
If
fiscal.
you could, it's gonna be the 13/9, but if you can just have the invoice be dated July
that
1
would
instead of
save
June 30th, it's gonna save him a lot of work.
Yeah, exactly. It's
We-
not only him a lot.
We also prepared the cash flow, so we
Okay.
can also share the cash
No,
flow
that'd be
with you
great.
for the whole
That would take
feasibility
care of it.
study.
That'd be the easiest
I
thing.
figured it'd be minimal in the beginning, and then it will, ramp up over time.
All right, so we will share, we'll share the cash flow with you, Pat. Does that work? And then you can just.
I'll distribute, yes.
Okay.
Okay.
And then we will issue our invoice and have it dated July 1.
And he'll have a check cut on July 3rd because we cut checks weekly and the 4th is a holidays, the Fridays.
Yep.
Anyway, so we'll turn it around real fast.
Yeah, no worries.
No, it just saves John and Darlene a lot of work for one invoice.
Yeah,
In
no,
a
I-
different fiscal year.
I get it.
Okay.
Yep, not a problem.
Good.
Okay. So, we don't need a motion for this, just wanted to,
What's that?
Oh, do we need a motion to officially not meet in July, just when we put
I
the
don't think
schedule
so.
out? No? Okay,
And we just won't post anything,
okay.
so.
that's all I have.
Yeah, I'll still be talking, I'll still be talking, during select board meetings, I'll keep, and that's why I asked for this information, so that I can keep him
Keep
in
them
the
abreast.
points of when we're gonna be meeting with MSBA and so on and so
Perfect.
forth. But, that way I can just keep the word out there in the meantime, so. So, no, I don't see any reason to, need a vote for that, so. I take it we are at the point of public comment. Are you guys all set?
We are.
Yes.
All right, and I don't believe there's any public comment, any,
I can say hello if you.
no, that's okay,
I'll
so,
just quickly say hello, I'm Larry Spank from Arrow Street, and we're one of the applications that you will receive
oh,
July
okay,
16th.
great, great.
And we came up just to look at the building and actually thought the RFS was gonna come out next week, but in any event, we're thrilled with the opportunity and hopefully you'll get a good application and we'll see what happens.
Excellent, welcome, thank you.
Company, I'm sorry.
Arrow Street.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, well, seeing that there's no further public comment, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn by Dennis King, second by Christine. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? I don't know, did we do it, Tim?
You beat it. 23. Good job.